some.
Yeah, what time is it?
I'm gonna check right now. Let's see. Oh, you've got plenty of time. You got time.
So I'm taking over the.
You can do a
format.
you can do an original now or two if you like.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Maybe one of the our political tunes.
I like the oldies.
You like the oldies?
I guess you could say from the oldies.
In the pines, where the sun never shines, where we go running when we want to hide, away from the cities, away from the lights, where the overgrown branches conceal what's inside. We made love in the pines, in the pines, in the pines, where I'll take my bride. No place is darker, and no place more still. We made love in the pines, in the shadows on the hills, away from the cities, away from the lights, where the overgrown branches conceal what's inside. We made love in the pines, in the pines, in the pines, so I'll take my bride. And no place is darker, and no place more still. We made love in the pines, in the shadows on the hills, away from the cities, away from the lights, where the overgrown branches conceal what's inside. We made love in the pines, in the pines, in the pines, where I'll take my bride. She said old song, so I immediately went into that. That was not obviously a political song.
I like old
So,
I'll give you a
so that's a really old song. I'm not even sure that anybody knows who wrote that song. But it's
I'll
pretty
give
old.
you-
If anybody does, let us know.
I'll give you a clue. If you'll maybe don't hit the guitar quite as hard, it might stay in tune longer. And we're getting just on the mix in general. I'm getting more guitar than vocal on it. So
okay.
so it doesn't need to be. I don't know if you can do that or not.
Yeah.
Can
No,
you
I could do that.
modulate that a
I
little
just
bit?
naturally play kind of very loud.
Well, that's what I thought, and I don't want to change. I don't want to change that.
Okay, so I'll just stop. I won't play as loud, but I'll
Okay.
sing about the same, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. And I think we could be getting a little distortion. I don't know what it sounds like going out on the TV exactly, but
Sounds pretty good to me.
it does sound good, doesn't it? Does Gary do? He's good, isn't he? We have good talent that drops by. When talent drops by, it's good.
You can tell he's got talent.
In 1649 to St. George's Hill, a ragged band they called the Diggers came to show the people's will. They defied the landlords, they defied our laws. They were the dispossessed, proclaiming what was theirs. They come in pieces to dig and sow. We come to work the lands in common and to make this this wasteland grow, this earth divided, we will make whole, so it can be a common treasury for all. All the sin of property we do disdain. No man has any right to buy and sell this earth for private gain. By theft and murder they took our lands. Now everywhere the walls rise up in their command. They make the laws to chain us well. Their clergy dazzles us with heaven and then damns us into hell, but will not worship a God they serve. He's a God of greed, he feeds the rich while poor men starve. We work, we together, we need no swords. We will not bow our heads to masters or parent, to the landlords. We are free men, though we are poor. You diggers all stand up for glory, stand up now. And from the men of property the orders came. He sent his hired men and his troopers to wipe out the diggers' claim, tear down their cottages, destroy their corn. They were dispersed, only their vision lingers on. You poor, take courage, you rich, better take care, 'cause this earth was made a common treasury for everyone to share all things in common, all people one. We come in peace, will the orders come to cut us down? And that might tie in with your homeless theme of last show, I guess. But that's an old song, the Diggers song. Should I keep going?
Let me see.
Or should I stop?
Yeah, go ahead.
I should do
why don't you do
one
one more, and then we're gonna talk a little bit, and then maybe we'll do one more on the way out.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Okay.
Because I was passed a note about something where we were gonna do some talking.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead. Do you want to go ahead and talk, and then I'll play?
No, go ahead.
Because I don't really have a song picked out.
You don't?
Well, no. But I can find one right
I
quick.
thought maybe an original. You got an original. Haven't you just recently knocked out a couple of?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm working on a few. Let's see.
You don't have anything that's new and ready to happen.
Yep, it's out of tune. That's right.
No way. You're kidding. Out of tune.
Wow. I'm gonna immediately go home and change all my strings after I torture everyone. My shoulder to the wheel, head out to find America. I'm not a conquering cowboy, and I like to ramble around. I'm not the only cowboy roaming from town to town. Lonely cowboy, met you 1,000 years ago on the Etruscan plain. You were singing your banjo, and I was trying to sing. Met you 1,000 years ago in the Etruscan plain. You were singing your banjo, and I'm trying to sing. It sounds better with all of Rickshaw 500, which is my band's name, Rickshaw 500, at myspace.com. Of course.
Hand me that big microphone down here now.
The big microphone. This one?
Can I squeeze it down here for you, sir?
Okay.
And put that little black microphone. Put the little square microphone back between the cookies and the silver tray. Right at your. Right. And now we should be ready to pick up everything. Now you had handed me a note that said.
Yes.
Well, here, slide that a little closer to you than the black microphone, though.
Yes.
There you go. And I think you'll sound real good.
Okay.
Check it out.
One thing,
check
we're
it out.
here in Studio B. He's got it.
Right.
And something I wanted to ask John, and as a matter of fact, ran it by Jen, our program director.
How did you wind up with my tea?
I don't know.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Mysterious thing. This is called Studio B.
Right.
The main studio, Studio A.
That's
It's
right.
like car 1, car 2, right?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Studio B, it's not fully functional because we don't have an audio system mixer in here. And
That's right.
I wanted to touch base with you and ask you, what do we need in this Studio B to get it up and running?
Mm-hmm.
And what I understand you're in search of this piece of equipment.
Right. Okay. Actually, I've gone online and looked for some things and stuff, and we found a little mixer that would handle 4 microphones and some line ins, and we'll want to get that and put in here so that we can see. Right now, I can run 2 microphones, but we might want to run more in here. But I'm trying to keep it just as simple as
Absolutely.
possible. And the idea is that we want to make this studio so that any member can walk in and sit down and flip it on and go on the air.
Very simple studio.
Right, and
One
said,
camera shot.
right. Well, maybe two camera shot. Now we were even talking 3 cameras, but I'm trying not to. We'll make it so it could be, but I think we're going to devote 2 of the same camera you've got.
Right, 110.
We may devote 2 of those to this room, and that way you can you could do a 2 shot. 2 shots.
So have you located the piece of equipment, or?
I've found and I've given the model number and stuff to Pat for the mixer, and I'm trying to pin down a switcher, but it's a little hard. We want to one of the things we want to do is we want to have a chroma key. And this wall we're going to put this wall chroma key green, and the door over there is going to be chroma key green, and that's going to be the door to another dimension.
Oh, the time travel port
That's
that we
gonna be-
needed. Yes.
Right,
Yes, we have to get
so it's actually hard to find a very small, simple switcher that also has chroma key. Usually they're sort of the upper end ones that have the chroma key, and they usually have an awful lot of buttons on them and stuff. So I'm trying to. I've located one. That's on the internet. It's a used one, and it's a brand I'm not familiar with. It looks like a nice pro piece. It's a little older, but the price is definitely right. The last time I was on there and checking it, so we're trying to get it set up so that it's real easy, and so that anyone who came in and did it, they would just have to basically turn it on, and there would be only a couple of little switches or buttons to mess with, and they wouldn't have to mess with any of them if they didn't want to. If they wanted to run with a 1 camera shot and a 1 microphone or something, it would just be turn it on and go, And if they wanted to have a little more, there would be something.
One of the reasons I had run that by Jen was that I'm thinking about doing a live show, more of a sit-down conversation show, about the concept being called Sound Off Buncombe, and that being just local issues within Buncombe County. May touch into some national issues, but basically just local issues, and get a small group of people come in let's say on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock each. That way you can kind of get a time slot, hopefully,
Right.
to lock in. And something real simple, and this would be it. This would be a good beginner's level for any member to come in and do a live show. And
You
utilize
could-
Studio B, and you know, if you don't have someone in the Studio A to in the control room
Right.
for your 3 cameras, you know, what good is that going
Right.
to do?
Frankly, to run Studio A and to really make use of that studio, right, you need a small crew.
Yes.
It does, and it takes about 5 people
Yes.
to put on a show in there. Plus your
takes a lot of
talent.
coordinating.
Yeah.
Matt, you know all about that.
How many people do you use on your show?
On the studio crew, we have average just 4 people.
4 people.
4 people. Yeah.
No, that doesn't include.
4 people, and we don't have somebody manning camera 2. Camera 2 is always set up in a fixed.
So you have what? You have two. You have two people in the
We have 2 camera people, 2 people in the control room.
and you have one sitting at the desk or something, an interviewer, or is the interviewer?
The interviewer, I do the interview.
Yeah.
And at which point I don't do the sound. We just
Okay.
check the sound levels ahead of time, and you know you're not going to need to mess with the sound levels for the interview.
Okay, well, if you're lucky,
Yeah.
you could.
And
You
if
could
it-
get out there and you could find yourself, you know, you could look at your tape later and you could find yourself interviewing people by saying,
That hasn't happened yet. Some of our early ones, we've had some problems. That's just because the people we're interviewing sat with the microphone all the way down here.
Uh-huh.
kinda talking
Right.
like this, and, I mean,
right,
you know,
miking a different part of their anatomy.
yeah,
Yeah. Right.
it's all a learning process.
All right.
But anyway, I think a Studio B would be a great studio for someone who, like myself, is a learning curve and be able to do something.
Well, that's the concept of this place. That's one of the reasons that I just came on in here and started doing it. It wasn't being used, and it didn't for me. It didn't require all the crew that I needed. Now I have accrued a bit of crew in that he comes in and crews quite a bit for me. I get a lot of help. People help me. You fill the tea and what have you and stuff like that. But for the most part. And Jonathan comes in and sets the camera up every day. If the room gets 1 or 2 cameras devoted to it that stay here, Jonathan wouldn't have to put up a camera. And if we just have the stuff sitting here and where someone can just turn it on, and at least one mic is permanently mounted, so there is a permanent camera and a permanent mic. And if you want a little more, you can get it too. And then with the green background. I think we'll put a DVD player in here so that if someone wants to bring in either a still shot or motion shots, whatever, if they want to be, they can sit here, and if they want the Taj Mahal in the background, it'll be the Taj Mahal in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. Or maybe the space station.
One thing I'm just a little bit curious about, and I don't know how often the small cameras get checked out or how many get checked out at a time.
All the time.
All the time, but I mean, is it all of them all the time?
It's not all of them all the time, but it is as I'm able to tell, it is often all of them,
It's
and
Because I was just
80%,
wondering
I'd say.
a lot.
what dedicating 1 or 2 of the smaller cameras would do to that availability.
Okay. At the same time that if we dedicate any of those cameras to this room, we're going to have to get some more cameras. We are in need of more. Please come in. Can Gary, will you get him a teacup and stuff? Will you jump up and wait that end of the table and fix him up? Take that. Take that box
Hello,
off.
Mr. Casey.
Grab the box off the table there. The yeah.
John,
ammo box. Get that out of
you
here.
have a chance to look at it?
Yes, and if you would pour him a cup of tea. This is Casey Waters. We're so glad. Yay, Casey Waters! Thank you so much for dropping by. I've been. Is that gone already? Oh my!
We got a
use
tea drinkers in here. Huh?
Look at give him some of this other. There's got to be some in here. Oh.
Do a combination here. All right.
Yeah.
It's good. So how's everyone doing?
Okay.
Wonderful.
I'll slide that a little bit more that way now. Okay. Let's finish this thought. Let's see where you've come in just right at the very end. Do you need any cream or sweetener or anything like that?
No, I'm okay. That's what I thought. I slow down the traffic a little bit. I'm right at the end. Oh well. But at least I made it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me finish up with where were we?
We were talking about the need for dedicated cameras.
Oh no, we were talking about if we dedicate 2 cameras to this room or more or less, whatever. If we dedicate some of the the ones that we've got to this room, we're talking about getting some more smaller cameras, some cheaper cameras, but more like what I shoot my other show with and stuff like that. Really, the camera you've got it all is really a lot more
than what you need in here.
It's more than what our average user probably really needs. You know what I mean? It's a lot. You know, those cameras are
professional.
right, and a smaller, more and much easier to use camera, like I use on my other show most of the time, is probably more appropriate to most of the membership most of the time, particularly when for the price of a camera like the one you got, we could get 5 or 10.
Yes, retail if you had to buy one new. Yes.
Of the smaller ones, exactly, and so that's the thing. I may want to take 1 or 2 cameras from our inventory to bring this room to life, but at the same time we want to restock our inventory with 5 or 10 more cameras that are honestly not as hot a camera, but they're still very good. There's been a lot of technology improvement, as you know, in the small cameras, and they really do look good. And I'm producing my show on the majority of the stuff that I do with the smaller camera. So
yeah, I mean, you can get a decent camera for less than $350.
That's right.
Probably to do
$250. I'm going to say in the $250.
$250.
In the $250.
So that's good. But anyway, we hope to get this studio open so we can do some live stuff later on when we get the necessary audio equipment. I think that's our main.
And anybody can come in anytime, and we'll try to do what we can. You know what I'm saying? And certainly at the tea party. Now we'll come back to recognizing Casey Waters.
Okay, all right, we're caught up. Okay, you barely touched on what I was gonna talk about.
How's that?
Audio.
Oh yeah.
Now this is audio for a very specific use. I'm not talking about anything in the studio. I'm talking about taking the mic outside the studio for a very specific reason.
Okay.
What's been going on, I know this is gonna sound funny, but for some reason, I guess last August, around there, I remember hearing this low-pitched hum noise. Very low-pitched, barely detectable, kind of like
Was it like mechanical noise?
Like almost like a mechanical noise. And I thought, well, maybe it's from, it could, like a heat pump makes a similar noise. Also, a lot of low-pitched engines and whatnot makes the same noise, and so on and so on. What intrigued me about this noise was it was heard over several locations in South Asheville, because I was delivering pizzas that night, and over a wide range of areas I heard a very similar noise. Also heard it at home.
Okay.
And it kind of came and went for a couple weeks. The reason I brought it up is it did come back again recently. Once again, the heat pump sounds a lot like it.
You may have,
but the heat pump was off when I heard
but
it.
other people have heat pumps. You may have,
but
you
it
may
wasn't
have
theirs. It wasn't theirs, and I could hear it inside and out. And I just said before, I heard it over a wide areas of locations. Could be something I'm literally hearing that I generate within myself.
I'm wondering in your history,
something else that we need to research.
Right. I tell you, I have heard some strange things that I would like to research too.
And as I said, it's very faint and very low. If you come up with a decent mic to pick up on such a noise. And especially if you could directionalize it, maybe you have like a long